Hey guys, Angus here bringing yet another airsoft gun review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the King Arms Micro Galil or Galil MAR Airsoft AEG. Now King Arms is known for some quality products and this gun is no exception. If you're interested in purchasing this product after you watch this review, there will be a link down below in the description to airsoftstation.com where you can buy it for about $320. So let's get into the review. Now starting off the Galil MAR's packaging, your gun will come in a standard cardboard box that is very flashy and highly decorated with the King Arms logo and King Arms colors. There is also a small indication sticker stating this is the non-blowback version of this gun. When you remove the box top, this is what you will see under a thin black sheet of styrofoam. The gun is packaged extremely well in black styrofoam and I doubt it will shift at all during transit. Inside the box you have your King Arms Galil series instruction manual. This is a pretty nice manual. It goes over all the basic features of your guns and includes a breakdown for the Galil series. Then you'll have a breakdown sheet specific to the King Arms Galil MAR. It's rather nice that they included that for those of you who do work on your own guns. Then you'll get a Cybergun style manual for their Galil series, which is just a rebranded CYMA Galil. I don't know why this is in here. I'm assuming it's because Cybergun usually does a lot of stuff with King Arms. Once the paperwork is out of the way, you'll have a standard 90-round speed loader with special tip adapter, a 150-round metal mid-capacity Galil magazine, a rather short dejamming rod, and of course your King Arms Galil MAR Airsoft AEG itself. Now out of the box, this is a pretty solid gun, does have a bit of heft to it, weighs in around 7 or 8 pounds, and is definitely a bit shorter than the standard size Galil. Now what I liked immediately when I laid eyes on this thing is how different it is. If you're in the market for a unique gun, this may be something you want to take a look at because to date, up until I received this gun for review, I've never seen one of these on the field, in person, ever until I received this gun. So if you're looking for something unique, take a look at the King Arms Galil MAR. On to the gun's external quality. As I mentioned, it has a bit of heft to it, and the reason for that is because it's mostly composed of metal. Metal pieces on this gun include your iron sights, your charging handle, your top cover, your upper and lower receiver, your stock, etc., etc. There are only a couple plastic pieces on this gun, and those are the gun's pistol grip, handguard, and blaze orange plastic M4 style flash hider. Just in case you're wondering, I believe this gun has counterclockwise threads underneath the included orange flash hider. Now those plastic pieces on the gun aren't cheapy, they feel rather solid. I believe the handguard is made of ABS plastic, but it still feels rather solid on there and a pretty nice grip on it. So overall, the external quality on this gun is very solid. Now internally, you have a version 3 gearbox. It's King Arms internals. A lot of people love their internals, think they're great. So you get a metal gearbox, metal gears, etc., etc. Some quality internals, which you should expect when you pay for a $320 gun. Another thing worthy of mentioning when discussing this gun's external quality would be the trademarks that are located on the left side of the gun's metal receiver. This one located towards the rear of the gun, and this one located a little farther forward that reads Israel Military Industries Limited, in parentheses IMI. And trust me, those trays are a very nice touch to the external quality and look of your Galil MAR. Now that we've finished talking about externals and internals, let's talk about a little bit of the features on the Galil. Now features-wise, the first thing we're going to take a look at is your gun's battery compartment. Now, like with basically all Galil airsoft variants, your battery is stored up top underneath the gun's top cover. In order to access your battery compartment, simply give this metal button a push inward. As you can see, some of the black paint has already begun to rub off. Once the button is pushed inward, your top cover will simply pop off, revealing your battery compartment. Now, the battery this gun utilizes is a stick-type battery, and unfortunately, like most other Galil variants, that's all the gun can fit. However, it does have a substantial amount of space to fit that stick-type, and can easily fit a 9.6-volt stick-type battery with room to spare. The gun utilizes a small type Taima connector, and actually, it's not the battery itself that gets in the way when replacing the top cover. The wires from the gun get in the way more than the battery does. In order to replace the top cover, it's rather simple. Simply line up the top cover with the slit where it goes, press downward on the button, and it will pop back into place. Now your gun's fire selector switch is located on the right side of the airsoft weapon and is basically the same as that you'd find on an AK airsoft variant. It also has the same settings, safe being at the top where the trigger cannot be pulled, and when pushed down to the middle setting, the gun is on full auto. On full auto, this gun produces a rate of fire of around 863 rounds per minute on a 9.6 volt battery. When you push it all the way downward, the gun will be on semi-automatic. I'm going to do this manually instead of editing it in because I want to show you how stiff the selector switch is. It's extremely stiff and hard to push down, the metal on metal, and it's just plain a pain to get on semi. As you can hear, it really doesn't want to go down unless you force it. Maybe this is just mine, but it certainly is a big con because it's extremely hard to get it onto semi, and you don't want that stiffness and resistance when you're in a game. Now, an awesome feature of the Galil MAR by King Arms would be its pistol grip fire selector switch, just like on the real steel Galil. It has the same 3 settings as the other fire selector switch, the first being safe, the second being full auto, and the third being semi-automatic. Sadly, this fire selector switch does not actually function. It has no effect on what the gun is firing at all, and it's merely there for cosmetic appearance. It's cool though. Another signature feature of the Galil would be its skeleton-style folding stock. Now, in order to fold the stock, you simply push downwards so that the teeth separate and the stock is able to fold over like so. The stock folds over. It doesn't actually attach to anything on the gun's right side. It simply stays there, but stays in place rather well, and there really isn't any wobble. In order to release the stock from the folding position, simply push downward and swing the stock outward like so. Another important feature of the Galil would be its magazine. In order to eject the magazine from the gun, simply push in the magazine ejection piece here. This will cause the magazine to come out of the gun. The magazine the gun comes with is a 150 round metal mid-capacity Galil magazine. The gun uses Galil mags, which are fairly hard to find and kind of expensive, so if I were you, just grab a couple of high caps and be set with those. I do not believe this gun can take AK-47 magazines like the ICS Galil. I believe it's proprietary to just these Galil magazines. Anyway, the mag it comes with is pretty good quality. I've had no feeding issues with it throughout the testing. It works like a standard mid-capacity magazine. There is no winding at the bottom. You simply load it with a speed loader through the top. The magazine and gun did come with that special speed loader tip. However, you don't need it to load with the mag. You can simply use any standard speed loader. In order to put the mag back in, you take it front first, put it in just like you're putting in an AK mag. It'll lock in like so, giving a reassuring click that it is in place, and there's very little wobble when the mag is in the mag well. Iron sights wise, the Galil MAR features your standard Galil iron sights, your rear sight being adjusted via this large dial located on the right side of the sight. It also features 2 apertures, the pinhole shown here, and the open hole shown here. This rear sight's, just a typical adjustable rear sight, and lines up with your front sight, which is just a typical sight with a sight post in the middle. When you want to access your gun's hop-up unit to adjust it, in order to access the unit, you simply pull back the gun's charging handle, which will reveal your hop-up. Your hop-up is a typical AK-style hop-up and is this small black piece that can be pushed forward or back. When you push it forward, you decrease your hop, and when you push it back towards the shooter, you increase your hop-up. Right now it's set towards the middle for the perfect amount of hop. And well, now that we've covered all the features of this Galil, let's go to the final conclusion. My final diagnosis for the King Arms Galil MAR Airsoft AEG review is that this is a really cool gun. If you're in the market for a unique gun, the Galil MAR is something you might want to look at. Not only are Galils rare to begin with, but the Micro Galil is something I've never seen before up until this point. There are a couple grievances I have with this gun. The most notable one would be the fire selector switch. I do not like how stiff that is. Perhaps it'll break in over time, but in my opinion, when a selector switch is that stiff that you really have to put as much force on it as possible, run the risk of breaking it, that's a huge con. The trademarks are a very nice touch to the external body of this gun, as is the pistol grip selector switch. It's rather disappointing, though, that that is merely cosmetic and doesn't actually work. If it worked, it'd be pretty cool, but sadly it does not. Otherwise, the gun is a great battery compartment on it, easily capable of fitting a 9.6 stick-type battery, which is something some other Galil variants can't say. External quality is amazing, feels great, a lot of metal pieces with the exception of just the handguard, the pistol grip, and the selector switch. The magazine that is included with this gun, unlike some other included mid-caps, feeds perfectly, no issues whatsoever. The Galil mags themselves are a little bit of a con, being that, well, they're kind of hard to find and they're also a little bit expensive. It's a shame this gun more than likely does not take AK mags. Your hop-up is easy to adjust and easy to access by pulling back the charging handle, and the folding stock is great to have on there for those CQB situations which you might take the Galil MAR into because of its size. So with that being said, guys, this has been Deathcore Airsoft's review of the King Arms Micro Galil Airsoft AEG. Pick it up today. It's a unique gun, and it's certainly one to add to your collection, maybe even one for mine. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe.